Finding furniture for a small space usually means you're giving up something. Comfort, style, function, something. I really like that this one doesn't make you choose. So this is the Marsail 66-inch futon bed. And what I think I like the most about it is it doesn't scream futon. A lot of futons have that very obvious dorm room or college apartment look. And I feel like this looks less like a futon and more like a small sofa. I really like the corduroy fabric. I think it gives it a bit of an elevated look. It looks so much nicer than your typical kind of microfiber futons that we usually see. And because it's only 66 inches wide, it really makes it a nice compact size that it will fit into a spare bedroom, an office, certainly a dorm room, a smaller apartment, really anywhere that you just need, you have a small space, but you need to fill it in a large way. I also think this is a great addition to the foot of a bed. And especially, so this is great for just, sitting on the end of the bed and putting your shoes on and so forth. But I think about the days when I had little ones and they always wanted to climb in bed, usually in the middle of the night. This would have been perfect perched at the end of our bed so that they could just climb up here and sleep the rest of the night on a nice soft surface that doesn't take up a lot of room at the end of my bed. Now this isn't just a love seat. The back of this adjusts to many different positions, including completely flat. The armrests also adjust to different positions, including going all the way flat. And so you can utilize this for reading, watching TV, all the way to fully reclining and sleeping or having an overnight guest spend the night here. One thing that's super important whenever I'm looking at convertible furniture is, does it feel sturdy? And this one really does. When we were putting it together, my husband and I were actually very surprised at how sturdy and firm this is. The legs screw on really well. There's no wobble to it at all. It is fairly lightweight, so you can move it around, pull it away from a wall in order to be able to drop the backpack very easily. It's not super, super heavy, but it feels heavy when you're sitting on it or when you're putting it together. It has a very substantial feel to it. Not flimsy, not wobbly at all. I also like furniture that has different purposes. So if you don't have a dedicated guest room, you still can put this small sofa really anywhere, and you've got the extra space for an overnight guest without having to dedicate an entire room. I also think this is a great option to put into an office. And so on a day-to-day basis, you've got plenty of room to sit and relax, to do your work, whatever you need to do during the day. But if you have an overnight guest pop up, it's perfect to be able to recline it, put everything down, and you've got space for that overnight guest without having to dedicate, again, a whole nother room to it. For me, the biggest selling point was that you don't have to compromise something that looks nice and is actually highly functional. Just because you have a small space doesn't mean you have to give up style or comfortability. That's the beautiful thing about this. It gives you that extra flexibility when you need it. When you're working with a smaller space or a smaller room, you need every piece to count. And so this gives you the flexibility of having seating during the day, and then if you need additional sleeping space at night, you've got that flexibility as well, without making the room feel overly crowded or taking up a huge amount of space. One thing I've learned over the years is that buying smaller furniture doesn't mean that it has to look temporary. I like pieces that are practical but still feel like they belong in a well-designed room. If you'd like to check it out yourself, I've linked it below.